Welcome to the iRally Power Stage preview for Rally Australia. This is stage 26 of the rally. It is the Clarence stage, 4.58 kilometres long. I'm Colin Clark from iRally, and joining me for this drive-through is George Donaldson from the Subaru STI project. George, great to be back in Australia, the first ever power stage in Australia. Gee whiz, it's an interesting one. Very, very quick off the start. Not so representative though.
It's not at all. It's quite different from everything else in the rally. However, good news is it's very open, and the helicopter will be able to follow the action all the way through. So spectators should have the most amazing view of this one.
It does seem a lot narrower than the other stages that have preceded it in the rally, but certainly it's fast. That does, I think, seem to be a characteristic of the whole rally, George. The stages that they've chosen here around Coffs Harbour are incredibly quick, and this power stage, to me, looks like it's going to be one of the fastest of the year so far.
I believe you're absolutely correct. It's a new road, it's a young plantation, so it's not a well-established road, so we're seeing it cutting up, some quite rough bits and some little water splashes as well. Yeah, just George, explain to us the little bump there. The roads that the vast majority of the stages run on are what they call shire roads, but this isn't. This is a forestry road, isn't it? And quite different in the way that the roads are formed, quite different in the surface, different in the way that they will react to a few cars going over them as well. Absolutely, Colin. This road's just built for the, for the access as they're building putting in all the trees and then maintaining them, thinning them. So very little traffic on this road. It requires very little maintenance, and the result is that it doesn't become established, hard packed. It doesn't have the same hardcore, the same build in the entire road. It doesn't require it.
See, that was quite a slow left we came round there, George, and just with the recce cars coming through, and to be quite honest with you, not so many recce cars here. There's only, what, 29, 30 cars in the rally. Not so many recce cars. It was cutting up already, that slow corner.
It will do, Colin. This is going to become phenomenally rutted in places, and of course there's two passes on the day. The power stage is only the second pass.
And we can see here, it looks to me as if they've had quite a bit of rain over the winter time. Don't forget that this is almost springtime here in Australia. We're coming out of the winter, heading in towards the summer. Now, the winter times can be quite wet, and this road to me is showing signs, a little bit of storm damage perhaps, George.
Could be, Cole, but actually I think it's a fair test, and generally speaking, fast flowing corners, the odd 90-degree junction chucked in there, but by Jove, it's quick. That's
a very, very quick section indeed, and we're coming into another section which requires massive bravery. Actually, it's on a little bit. Quite a few bumps here. Don't forget the power stage. What's it all about? Well, it's about those extra bonus points that you pick up at the end of the rally. It's 3 points for the fastest car through the power stage, 2 for the second, and a single point for the third fastest car through the power stage. It's going to be run on Sunday afternoon as stage 26 of the rally. As we said, this is just such a lovely, fast-flowing road, George.
It's a great one, Colin. As you can see here, there's the older established gum trees, and look how close those trees are to the road on that corner.
Now, Georgie, tell us about this. Look at that. That's how far is that? Maybe 600 metres down and up to the bottom. What kind of speeds will the World Rally cars be getting down here?
Well, they could be going immensely fast, but there's a couple of really big bumps and jumps, and I'm not just 100% sure they'll be able to go flat out over them, because they'd get an immense amount of air. And the landing's good, but I still think they're going to have to slow a little bit. I think they just catch too much air on that.
Gee whiz, well, gee, bouncing around ourselves in our four-wheel drive hire car, and again, you're barely lifting as you come off that long straight, into a right, into a left. Traction a problem though, George, perhaps, for the first few cars through?
Well, there's a couple of different surfaces in here, Colin. We've even seen some sand earlier on. The road will definitely clean, but it will cut in places. Undoubtedly, first on the road will be at a definite disadvantage.
Okay, and first on the road, well, who's that going to be? Well, what they will do is they will reverse the order, so it won't be one of our main protagonists, if you like. Don't forget the way that they run the power stage. They reseed just before the start of the stage. They have a regroup, and generally it's the first 10 or 11 cars at the start of the day that go in reverse order. So potentially, or almost definitely, George, we'll see a Group N car being first through, maybe even 2 or 3 Group N cars. A good chance for the Group N drivers to get themselves a bit of exposure on this power stage.
Absolutely, Colin, and make no mistake, the Group N cars will get an immense top speed down there, almost the same as the World Rally cars on a fast section like this.
Just look at this run into the flying finish. It is straight, it is wide, it is fast, maybe a jump back there, heading now towards what is the flying finish, and that is us across the flying finish for the power stage. And don't forget that you have seen first on iRally, the power stage for Rally Australia. That was a heck of a blast through the outback here in Australia. Look out for the snakes, look out for the kangaroos, look out for the flying World Rally cars. The power stage on Rally Australia is going to be one of the quickest.